Welcome to Beyond the Needle, the aesthetics business podcast. I'm your host, Emily Ruse. I'm a former clinic manager turned digital marketing freelancer, and I've had the privilege of helping dozens of aesthetic practitioners across the UK and beyond grow their business. So I know firsthand just how challenging it can be to build a successful aesthetics practice in today's competitive market. Each week, I'm here to share real, actionable strategies and bring on expert guests to help you level up, attract more patients, and build a standout brand. Let's turn your passion into a thriving business together. Hi everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Beyond the Needle. So if you're an aesthetic practitioner and you're thinking about adding a new treatment to your clinic in 2025, then you're in exactly the right place. Today we're talking about how to launch a new treatment into your clinic successfully, and I mean really successfully, not just throwing it out there and hoping for the best, because that's what I see clinics do a lot. Introducing a new treatment is of course really exciting, especially if it's completely different to your existing offering, or if it's your first device that you're investing in. But I also understand that it's a pretty nerve-wracking stage of growing your business. So you've built your foundations, you've mastered your injectable skills, you've built up a steady flow of patients, but you're now wondering what's next. Is it time to level up and expand your offering? And if so, how do you make sure it's the right decision? Because here's the thing, adding a new treatment is a big investment. It's not just the cost of the course or the device, but it's the time, the marketing, and the effort to position it in a way that actually gets bookings rolling in. And I've seen too many practitioners make this leap without a real solid plan in place, only to find that shiny new machine gathering dust in the corner of the treatment room a few months later. So today we're going to talk about a number of key things that you need to consider if you're thinking about investing in a new treatment or a device. We're going to talk about how to know if it's the right time to introduce a new treatment into your clinic, how to choose a treatment that's actually going to excite your patients and give you a solid ROI, and finally, how to create a proper launch plan to get those bookings coming in before you've even finished paying for the training or device. I'm going to pack this episode full of value, so whether you're eyeing up a new type of injectable or a big ticket machine, grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's get into it. So let's start with the big question. How do you know when it's the right time to invest in something new? And the honest answer is this: if your current treatments aren't already doing well, adding something new into the mix probably isn't going to fix it. Let me explain. So the vast majority of treatments booked in aesthetic clinics are injectables, Botox fillers, skin boosters, now polynucleotides. These are the most popular treatments. They make up about 80% of the bookings in most clinics. So if you're struggling to fill appointments for those treatments, the problem isn't your offering. It's likely your branding, your visibility, your pricing, or your marketing strategy. And adding a new treatment isn't going to magically fix those issues, but instead it could leave you feeling even more stretched, both financially and emotionally. You've got this new device sitting there that you're probably paying for monthly, and you need to be bringing bookings in order to pay that off. If you don't already have that solid foundation of bookings in place, you're going to really start to put undue stress onto yourself by having something new there that you've got to pay for. So before you start looking at new devices or courses, ask yourself, am I consistently booking out my existing treatments? Are my marketing messages clear and targeted to the right people? Do I have a steady flow of leads and inquiries coming into the clinic? And is my branding aligned with the type of patients that I want to attract? So if the answer to any of these is no, your focus should be on strengthening your foundations first, your branding, your visibility, and your marketing. And that might mean getting the advice of a professional, having a branding expert look at your branding and give you some feedback as to what perhaps you could be doing better. I mean, you can even look at this yourself. The brand is the face of your clinic. It's what really sets you apart in a crowded market. So is it reflecting the quality and the professionalism that you offer? Or does it feel tired and inconsistent? Does your branding on your social media reflect branding on your website? Is it consistent? Are you recognizable? And if you're unsure, ask a few trusted patients or even friends for honest feedback, and don't underestimate the power that small tweaks can make with your branding. Cleaner fonts, stronger colours, or sharper imagery can make a big impact without a full rebrand. If you've listened to my previous podcast, I talk a lot about the power of having authentic content and getting professional imagery and getting great video content. There really is nothing more powerful than that when it comes to standing out in a competitive industry like aesthetics. So if you don't already have, a good bank of photos of you, your team, if you have one, the clinic, your treatments, your skincare offering, a real good bank of photos that showcase your patient journey that you can use on your website, that you can use within your social media content, that's going to help you stand out. And again, on Instagram, you need to be considering video content, and it's no good posting the old blurry treatment video. It's so worth investing in good quality video content, good quality videos showing different treatments in action, different parts of your patient journey that you can utilize to create content that is going to work with what Instagram is looking for. It's going to work with the algorithm. It's going to help you stand out. It's going to be eye-catching. It's going to get people to stop and watch. That is probably the first thing. If you don't already have that in place, that strong bank of content, I would prioritize that before investing in anything new for your clinic, especially if when you get that new device or that new treatment, you are going to be reliant on getting new patients booking in for it as well as your existing patients. You need to have that content there to support you with your marketing efforts. Other things that you can do if, you're not consistently booking out your existing treatments, or if you're not getting a steady flow of leads and inquiries coming in, is looking at your Google business profile and your website SEO. How often are people finding you through Google? Because this should be one of the key ways that people are finding you. So your Google business profile is free, and it really does take minutes to optimize, and you can make all the difference going in and just making a few tweaks to it. So, adding photos if you haven't added any new photos to it for a while, posting updates. So that could be, highlighting, team members or, offers that you've got going on, or just doing a treatment highlight once a week on your Google business profile, respond to reviews, just going in and making sure your details are up to date. But Google rewards businesses who frequently update their Google business profile, and it will help to rank you higher in your local area if you do that. So go in, make sure you're updating that, and perhaps consider getting someone who's an expert in SEO just to have a little look at the back end of your website and maybe clean it up. A lot of people have really lovely looking websites, but have never considered whether everything is optimized on the back end of that website in order for it to be shown to people when they're searching for things on Google, like dermal fillers near me or dermal fillers wherever you're located, RF microneedling, Bristol, whatever it might be. So it might be worth getting someone, just have a little look on the back end of your website and make sure that everything is optimized there, and there's nothing that's preventing you from ranking up higher than you should be. But if you're in a solid place with your current treatments and you feel ready to expand, that's great. Let's talk about how to get it right. So this is where so many practitioners go wrong. They see a shiny new treatment trending on Instagram, or they see a lot of practitioners are offering something. RF microneedling is a great example of this. It's very well known. A lot of people have heard about RF microneedling, are interested in RF microneedling. It's a well-searched treatment on Google and on social media. So naturally, that might be something that you are starting to consider for your own clinic. But the truth is, what works for one clinic might not necessarily work for yours. And if you only have the room in your budget to invest in one particular device, then you really need to think carefully about what that device is going to be. So the first step should always be to talk to your existing clients. When they're in clinic, ask questions about the kind of concerns that they have that you're not already addressing, or what they've seen online that they're interested in, the results that they're looking for, and the budget, what they would be happy to spend on a treatment. For example, if your patients already love skin boosters, polynucleotides might be a perfect fit. But if the majority of your patients are interested in anti-wrinkle treatments and fillers and skin boosters, but don't show an interest in facials and skin treatments, then investing in a hydrofacial might be a little risky. You can also use polls on Instagram or send out an email survey to your existing patients to gather insights and just offer them a small incentive to encourage them to fill that survey out. And if you're surveying your patients in this way, I would take the opportunity to ask them about more than just this new treatment that you're thinking about investing in and gathering information in regards to that. I would also ask them about their experience in clinic, anything that they would like to see more of, or that could have gone better, or that they weren't happy with, and taking the real opportunity to do a little bit of a feedback gathering, which will help you understand areas that perhaps you need to work on within your patient journey. So make the most of it. Surveying patients, once a year is a really, really good thing to do. And if you're just starting out and you don't have a big patient base yet, Research what is popular in clinics with similar demographics, but I would strongly advise against investing in a device just to get more new people through the door if you're really reliant on that device bringing you in more patients because you don't have enough of them and your appointments aren't booked out enough. Work on that first with the existing treatments that you have before investing in something new. In my episode with Dr. Sophie Schotter, we talked about this, and she talked about the mistakes that she made when investing in a device. And this was one of the mistakes. It was investing because she thought it was going to bring in new patients to the clinic, and it didn't work like that. But she did give a great tip about a different type of treatment that you could offer as a practitioner who doesn't perhaps want to invest a huge amount of money into devices or treatments just yet. And that was investing in a lesion removal device like the Thermovane or microsclerotherapy, because there are a lot of people out there who have thread veins, who have lesions that they'd like to remove that they can't get removed for free on the NHS, so they do have to go privately. It's relatively low cost to introduce into your clinic, so there's not too much of a risk there. It's a good way to get new people into your clinic because it's naturally going to draw those new people in who perhaps haven't considered skin treatments or injectables, but they have these thread veins or they have these lesions that they want to remove. And it then gets them in so they can see what else that you offer. You know, you might get speaking to them about a particular other concern that they have that you can recommend a different treatment that you offer for. So it gets in a different type of person who might have not necessarily considered these other treatments that you offer, but now you've met them, you've built that trust with them, you've had a conversation with them and opened up their mind to the other possibilities out there to overcome other concerns that they might have. So that's a really good treatment to consider if you do want to bring in new clients and you don't necessarily want to be investing a huge amount into a new treatment device just yet. So once you've surveyed your existing patients, you've used polls on Instagram to gather feedback from your audience, and you've decided on the device that you are going to invest in, the next step is to plan your go-to-market strategy. And this is where most practitioners slip up. And I'm really passionate about talking about this. And I talk about it a lot in my social media content. This happens so commonly with my own clients. Like, you know, I'll be working with somebody on their social media strategy and on their social media marketing. And they'll suddenly say to me in a monthly meeting, oh, by the way, I've introduced this new device. It's coming on Monday. So we need to start talking about this. And I'm like, why are you just telling me about this now? You know, this should have been something that we discussed a couple of months ago when you probably first started considering it. And this happens so frequently. You know, you'll finish your training, you'll post a couple of updates on Instagram to let people know about this amazing new device that you've invested in and that you're now going to be offering at your clinic. And then you wonder why the bookings aren't coming in. It's because you need a proper launch plan. You can't expect just to post once or twice and suddenly everyone's running to your clinic door begging to have this treatment. You know, it takes time to build up curiosity and trust and excitement and to get people to understand why they should be investing in this treatment, to see it as a solution for their problems that they have. That takes time. It's not an overnight thing, and it's not a one post or one email newsletter and suddenly this treatment is fully booked. It's a process, and you should be starting to talk about this new treatment that you're going to be offering in your marketing at least 4 to 6 weeks before you officially launch it. I think a lot of people are afraid that they're going to start talking about it and people are going to be like, I want to book in and I want to book in now. But so what? It's great if people see a post and want to book in, and it's even better if you have a wait list or people booked in 4 weeks' time from when you're starting to offer that treatment, rather than you've got the device, you're trained, you're ready, it's sat in your clinic and the diary is empty with appointments for it because you've only just started to talk about it. Build a wait list, get people excited, get people curious, have them on the wait list with maybe a pre-launch offer to entice them to be one of the first patients to book in for it. And then you've got a nice bank of people there ready and waiting for when you are ready to launch that treatment officially. So in order to launch a new treatment effectively, you need a proper launch plan, one that builds anticipation, educates your audience, and keeps the momentum going long after the initial excitement dies down. So let's break it down step by step. So firstly, you're going to create curiosity and you're going to tease the launch. And that might be, you know, something as simple as posting a blurred image or video of the new treatment in action with the caption, something exciting is coming soon. Can you guess what it is? And encourage people to comment below what they think the new treatment might be. You know, you could post about it on stories and use the Instagram timers for the big reveal to create urgency and keep people coming back to check. You could post, once a week an image on your Instagram feed of like the treatment with most of it kind of cropped out, and kind of keep people guessing, saying, 5 days to go. What do you think it might be? Any new guesses? There's so much that you can do to kind of create that curiosity and keep it in people's minds. Posting behind the scenes content like unboxing the new device, showing snippets of your training, or setting up your treatment room to build hype, and just taking people on a bit of a journey with it so they can see it coming together. And people love behind the scenes content, so this kind of thing can work really well. Start educating. So create reels or carousel posts that address common concerns that the treatment solves. Think, things like tired eyes, meet the treatment that could transform your under eye area. Film quick, informal explainer videos talking about who the treatment is ideal for and what kind of results they can expect. Make it personal with things like, I've been getting so many questions about tired, hollow eyes, and I'm so excited to be launching something that can really help with this. And you're also going to want to build an email list and VIP offers. So, like I mentioned briefly earlier on, you want to build a wait list for your treatment so that you have people there who are ready and waiting to go when your new treatment has officially launched. So you could announce a VIP waiting list for early access to bookings and exclusive discounts, and create scarcity by limiting places. So for example, don't wait, there are only 10 spots available at this price. Send teaser emails with subject lines like, the treatment my patients have been asking for is finally here, or early access, be the first to try our new treatment. Partner with local businesses. So you could think about teaming up with complementary businesses like salons, bridal shops, or gyms to cross-promote your launch. Offer their clients exclusive early bird offers in exchange for showcasing their services to your audience. So this works quite well because they have the audience that you want to be attracting, and they already trust this business, this salon or this bridal shop or this gym. They trust because they're a client of theirs. And if that gym or that salon or that bridal shop is essentially recommending you to their clients, they're more likely to instantly trust you and come to you as a warmer lead than someone who's just, say, found you on Google. And they possibly have the kinds of problems that your treatment can solve. So this is a really great underrated way to kind of market your new treatment. For example, if it's a body contouring treatment like, the emerald laser or cool sculpting, partnering with a local gym is ideal because the people who use that gym likely have issues that they want to resolve, whether it's, stubborn pockets of fat, skin laxity, whatever it might be. And then another thing that you're going to want to consider during this phase is market research, polls and surveys. So using Instagram polls and stories to ask your audience about their skin concerns. For example, would you prefer brighter under eyes or smoother looking skin? And tailor your messaging based on their responses. Offer free review consultations to gather insights and pre-qualify patients who might benefit most from the treatments. So, you can use Instagram stories as a really effective way to build hype for this new treatment and also to get leads. The people who are watching your Instagram stories are your most engaged audience. They're the people who are watching you the closest, and they're really interested in what you have to say and you're offering. So naturally, your Instagram stories are going to be a great place to sell to those people. And also you can include links directly to your website, to your booking page, whatever it might be, within your Instagram stories. So it's easier to take people through to the next step via your stories than it is anywhere else on Instagram. And a few of the most effective ways to sell in your Instagram stories is to tell patient stories. And I know if you're launching something new, you might not necessarily have a patient story just yet, but there will be before and after photos, hopefully, if you've invested in a device that the supplier will provide you with. Now, they are better than nothing, but obviously you want to work on building up your own bank of before and after photos, and that might involve doing some case studies and getting some models in, but it really is worth doing when you're launching something new. And it's good because it helps you get more experience in that treatment as well. And when someone's doing something because they're a case study and perhaps they're getting the treatment for free or at a large discount, you can ask them for not just consent to before and after photos, but you can ask them for a good testimonial, both on, Google and on camera, and really make the most of that patient and film their treatment journey from start to finish. So you get lots and lots of content that you can use out of it as well. So it's really, really worth doing as long as you make the most of it and you get as much content as possible and you get some great before and after photos. But a great way to sell in Instagram stories is to tell those patient stories. So you could do a series of stories. You post all at the same time, but they're different slides. And you could tell a bit of a story, you could say, imagine this. You're looking in the mirror and you're seeing smooth, firm, healthy skin staring back at you. No more scars, no more texture, no more deep wrinkles. Skin that glows without makeup, skin that finally looks as fresh and youthful as you feel on the inside. You're no longer fed up with wasting time and money on treatments that overpromise and underdeliver. It is possible for you to love your skin again. And I know this because I've seen it happen time and time again with my patients who walked in feeling defeated by stubborn acne scars, dullness, and crepey skin and walked out with confidence that they hadn't felt in years. They've gone from hiding behind filters and makeup to proudly showing off their natural, radiant glow. And that's why I have invested in my RF microneedling treatment, because this is a more powerful way to achieve those goals. It's a revolutionary procedure designed to give you the skin transformation that you've been looking for. No more covering up blemishes, scars, or fine lines with makeup. No more wasting money on expensive creams and facials that barely scratch the surface. The RF microneedling device is a cutting-edge treatment that combines microneedling and radiofrequency energy to target the root of your skin concerns. It stimulates collagen and elastin production, it tightens skin, it reduces wrinkles, it fades acne scars, leaving you with real, visible, long-lasting results. RF microneedling is the breakthrough solution that you need if you want to X, Y, Z. Put in some of the most common concerns that people are coming to you with. If you want to achieve results like this and then show some of the before and after photos, and like I say, you might need to use the supplier before and after photos that they provide you with to begin with, then click here to get on the waitlist. The spots are limited and I will be offering a special launch price to the first 10 people who sign up. And you might get 20 people sign up and you can offer them launch price. No one is going to be any the wiser, but that's an example of a really powerful way to speak very clearly to your target audience and their concerns and position this new treatment as the solution to those concerns and help them, not just read about the benefits of the treatment, but actually envision themselves in it, envision themselves as someone who's had the treatment. Yes, they're struggling with this. They can relate to what you've said. And they are fed up of wasting time and money on treatments and skincare products that don't really help get to the root of their concerns. And if they have this treatment, this is how their life is going to be. This is how their skin's going to look. They can really start to envision what their skin is going to look like and what the results are going to be if they have this treatment with you. So, your copy is powerful, and I think a lot of people underestimate that, and they might just put like a picture of the device and list the benefits and expect people to kind of connect with that and sign up from that, and that's just not really going to be the case. So yeah, stories I highly recommend, and you can go on stories and you can address myths, and you could do a different story every day and just think about how you're going to give your audience value there and how you're going to help them see that this is the treatment that they need. So let's talk about launch week and how you're going to create buzz and get bookings. You've got your wait list, that's great, but you don't want to stop there. You want to think about how you can continue to create that buzz and get more bookings and get more people on board. And one of the first things that you can do, and probably one of the most obvious things that you can do, is host a launch event or live demo. So, like an evening event where you invite your existing patient database in. They can maybe incentivize them for bringing a friend who isn't an existing patient, so you can get some new people through the door. But hold an in-person or virtual launch event where you showcase the treatment live. You can answer questions, you can demonstrate the result, you can show people what it's like to have a treatment, so they can see the treatment in progress and see that, actually it's not that scary, and this is what they look like after treatment. They're not that red after all. It's the downtime doesn't look that intense, and you can really sell them the treatment and really give them a great experience, and offer mini consultations on the night so people can discuss the treatment with you and, find out more about it and whether it's right for them. And then give attendees a discount as a thank you for attending, an incentive to attend. They get a discount if they book on the night. Or if they, they might want to go home and think about it, but if they book by the end of that week or whatever it might be. And a way that you can take this to the next level is to live stream parts of the events on Facebook or Instagram to reach more people and capture that FOMO, that fear of missing out. So if people weren't able to attend, or they didn't know that the event was going on because they've missed your marketing communications, or, they're having a busy week and they just weren't able to come, they can actually watch some of the event live or watch it back and see the treatment in progress, see some of the questions being answered. And again, that might bring in some more leads and inquiries, and you could perhaps offer that discount that you offered to attendees to any of those people who then inquire off the back of that. Run limited time offers. So, on your launch week, you might do, if it is RF microneedling, for example, that you've launched, you buy, if you're offering, say, a course of 4 treatments in a package, you could offer that course of treatments at a slightly reduced price. So, buy 3 treatments to get 1 free, or get a free skincare gift with your first booking. But I would strongly recommend really incentivizing that treatment in its launch week and giving people a bigger offer than you would perhaps usually offer, that you would never offer again, because that's really going to drive scarcity, and it's going to really encourage people to book in. And highlight the urgency with phrases like introductory pricing ends Friday, don't miss out, 24 hours to go, that kind of thing, making sure that you're going on and you're talking about it repeatedly in your marketing. Don't be afraid of talking about it too much. At the end of the day, you're a business. People are following you because they're interested in what you have to offer, and it's just part and parcel of running a business. There are going to be times that you are selling more intensely than others. And leverage social proof. It's going to be difficult when you first launch a new treatment. You've got limited social proof to give. You don't necessarily have any testimonials yet. You don't have any before and after photos, but really kind of try and jump on the back of any of the before and after photos that the supplier gives you. Post them as much as you can on stories, and use storytelling to connect with your audience. For example, this patient was really concerned about wrinkles and laxity. This is her skin immediately after treatment. Imagine what it's going to look like in 4 to 6 weeks. Something along those lines. You could think about partnering with micro-influencers, people who have a very similar target audience to yours, who are really based in your local area, offering them a free treatment in exchange for kind of a review or content on their own platforms, and have them document the process, so from consultation to the end result, giving a kind of real relatable experience for their followers. But, I could do a whole episode on influencers, and it's not the right way to go for everybody. And a mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to influencers is looking at people's followers, which really does not give you any accurate insights into whether that is a good person to collaborate with. When I work with my clients who want to work and go down the influencer route and, experiment with that, I don't look at look at people's following. Yeah, okay, I look, but that's not what I base my decision on as to whether that's a good person to partner with. Because a lot of people buy followers. It's very easy to buy followers and to look like you got 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, when 90% of them are bought. You want to be looking at people's engagement. They might have 10,000 followers, but they get 200-300 likes on every post. They get 50 comments on every post. That is a good indicator to me that is a good person to work with. And even then, there's ways that people can make their comments look authentic when actually they're in some sort of engagement pod. So if you are thinking about working with an influencer, do be really cautious. Ask them for insights. Ask them for case studies, the portfolio of other people that they've worked with and what results they've got, so those businesses they've worked with in the past. But that is an avenue you could consider. And then as soon as you do have testimonials, and it might even be a testimonial from a patient who's come in, had 1 treatment, and then you've got a testimonial about their experience, how they found the treatment, how they found the downtime, and the results that they've seen, immediately. But that in itself is good. Good to share. So do ask testimonials from people, even if they haven't seen the full results yet, because it's going to take 3 to 4 months to see results. That's going to take you too long to build up a good testimonial bank. So ask people, and then you can always go back to them and ask them for another testimonial later on when they've got the final results. And then post-launch, so 1 to 4 weeks after you've launched, you want to keep the momentum going. So, hopefully by this time you're going to be able to get more detailed reviews from patients who have had the treatment. So make sure that you are following up with those people. You are asking them to leave you a Google review. You are asking them to give you a video testimonial if they're happy to, and you are getting them to come back for a follow-up and to get those final after photos, and hopefully they let you share them. If you need to crop out eyes or whatever it might be, you can do. And I always say to people, because a lot of the time when you ask somebody if you can share their before and after photos, they will say no. And a lot of the time that's because they're scared of what those photos will look like. They're scared about people seeing it and knowing that they've had treatment on the one hand, but they're also scared about because they don't know what those photos are going to look like. So they are likely to say no. But if you put the before and after photos together and you show the patient those photos side by side, and maybe you do a version where you've got their full face and then you've got their eyes cropped out or blurred out, and you show the patient those photos and you say, would you be happy for me to share this version on Instagram, or this version with your eyes cropped out? they are a little bit more likely to agree to that because they can see the final results of the photos put together side by side. They can see what it's going to look like if you don't use their eyes. Actually, they might look at it and think, actually, no one would know that that's me. And they're therefore more likely to say yes. So just a couple of ways that you can increase the likelihood of people agreeing to share their photos. But video testimonials are great for building trust. They're more genuine than written reviews. People can relate to them. So do ask patients to share their experiences on camera, and you will get the person who agrees, especially if they've had an amazing result and they're really, really over the moon and happy and so, so grateful to you. And of course, continue educating your audience on social media, within your social media content, answer FAQs, bust common myths and misconceptions about the treatment, dive deeper into how the treatment works, show behind the scenes content of the treatment in action, talk about how it compares to other similar treatments. So if, for example, you've got that RF microneedling device that I keep talking about, you could compare it to something like old therapy or HIFU and how it compares to that. That's, a commonly asked question. Another one is whether it melts facial fat. So that's another concern a lot of people have about energy treatments. Is it going to actually melt my facial fat? It's a common concern and a commonly Googled question. And you might feel uncomfortable talking about that because you think, oh, it's kind of talking about this new treatment negatively. But unfortunately, these are the questions that your audience have. And so you need to be answering them and answering them in an honest, authentic way is going to build trust with people, and it's a great opportunity to highlight the importance of going to an experienced, qualified practitioner who really knows what they're doing, rather than just going to someone who offers the cheapest RF microneedling in the area. You could talk about why you invested in that particular device that you invested in. You can break down the process of the treatment with posts like, what to expect during your treatment journey or how to enhance your RF microneedling results post-treatment. So there's lots of things that you can do, but keep posting about this on your social media platforms and don't worry about posting about it too much. When you launch new treatment, it takes time to really get that into people's minds, to get them to trust it, to get them to see it as the solution to their problems. So you're going to want to be making, 60, 70, maybe even more % of your content about that treatment, at least for a while, and then you could go down and find a bit more of a balance with your other treatments once you've really got it going and you've got that steady stream of patients booking in for it. And this is a good time, although you should be doing this regularly anyway, to talk about your referral incentives. So hopefully you already have a referral program where if people refer a friend or family member, they get some sort of reward, and maybe the referred friend or family member gets a reward off their first treatment, £50 on account for the person who's referred, £50 for the new patient. But this is a good time to really promote this referral program, especially to people who've had the treatment. So if they had it, they love it, refer a friend, you'll get £50 off your new treatment, they'll get £50 off their first treatment. And, maybe have this at the bottom of all of your email newsletters, or go on and share it on your stories every now and again, just to keep it fresh in people's minds. And tell your patients, in their follow-up emails, don't forget we have this refer a friend program. If you love your results, you've had a great experience, tell your friends about us, tell your family about us, and you will be rewarded. Or you could look at a way of streamlining this and making it very consistent with an app like Patient Perfect. And on my last podcast episode, I spoke with Corinne, the founder of Patient Perfect, about how you can improve your patient retention in general, but how you can use Patient Perfect to really leverage that and to, grow your clinic essentially without necessarily bringing in lots of new patients. So go and have a listen to that if that's something that you're interested in. You could, in this post-launch phase, launch a giveaway or competition. So run a giveaway for free treatment, asking people to tag friends, follow your page, or comment why they'd love to try it. This will, of course, boost engagement and get more eyes on your content, and build ongoing campaigns. So we talked about your social media content to keep treatment top of mind, but also, making sure you're sending out regular email campaigns that discuss this new treatment, that talk about, that bust the myths, that showcase what's going on behind the scenes with the new treatment, or a particular patient's story, just to keep it fresh in people's minds. And don't forget that your email list are some of your most engaged patients, so they're a really great place to target. Don't underestimate the power of that. And then 1 to 3 months after the launch, you're going to just be sustaining interest. So you'll still want to be talking about it within your social media content, but perhaps less often. Perhaps you're talking about it, a couple of times a week, or you're posting the odd story about it, but make sure you are really talking about it, and not just talking about the treatment and its benefits, but discussing different concerns that people might have, saying, are you struggling with this? Or this is how X treatment might help. Retargeting existing patients, so using email marketing to re-engage people who perhaps clicked but didn't book during the launch, offer time-limited discounts to perhaps re-engage those people and to bring them in. And build blogs and SEO content on your website. So this is really, really important and often an area that gets missed. But writing blogs optimized for keywords like, best treatment for X, or how to get rid of under eye bags or jowls, for example, and then obviously talking about this treatment within that blog will help to drive traffic to your website and then leads well after the launch. So this is more of a long-term thing to help build those keywords into your website, so that when people are searching for those treatments in your local area, you have discussed those treatments and those keywords that they're searching for well on your website, and therefore you're going to appear higher in the search results. And finally, use data to refine your marketing. So track your analytics, 2 to 3 months after your treatment launch. Go back and look at what posts worked well, which emails got the most clicks, which questions came up the most, and use that data to improve your strategy moving forwards, to maybe find gaps that you might have missed, or a certain type of headline or question that people really engaged with when you talked about that in your email marketing or your social media, and then create more content about that particular thing and just do it in a slightly different way. But do look at your data. This is so key. By this point, you've got a lot of it, and it's also going to help you understand what works and what doesn't when you launch something else in the future. So yeah, go and look at your data. It's so important. And remember, adding a new treatment can be one of the best decisions that you make for your business, but only if you do it strategically. So before you jump in and invest in a new device, do your research, test the treatment yourself, crunch the numbers, and create a proper launch plan. That way, you're not just adding another service, but you're really setting yourself up for success. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you have any questions at all, do ping me a message over on Instagram at Bloom and Beyond Studio. And please do follow and subscribe to this podcast. And I would absolutely love it if you left it a little review on whichever platform you are listening to it on. It really does help, and it helps me bring more of this content to you for free. So I would really, really appreciate that. But thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.